Hi, I'm Archie Burton Smith, the writer and director of The Longest Night. Before we begin this episode, I'd like to talk about a few things. First, the featured cause of this episode is Nellie's Women's Shelter, a 36-bed emergency shelter for women and their children who are leaving situations of violence, poverty, and homelessness. In a society plagued by gendered violence and discrimination, too often are women left with no place to go. Additionally, in our post-COVID era, domestic violence and substance abuse is on the rise, leaving even more women at risk of harm and in need of a safe place to go. Nellie's provides 24-hour shelter services to some of our most vulnerable individuals and families, giving them a safe place to go during a crisis. With a 24-hour intake and crisis hotline, as well as various programs such as housing support, youth outreach, and counseling, Nellie's provides invaluable services to those who need it most. To support Nellie's or get involved, you can visit nellies.org. Next, a content warning. The Longest Night is a show that deals with dark subject matter and potentially distressing themes. Episode 5 contains violence, coarse language, frightening scenes, and discussions of mental illness. Now, without further ado, I'm pleased to present Episode 5 of The Longest Night. Enjoy.
UC Follies presents The Longest Night, a radio play by Archie Burton Smith. Episode 5. How can I assist you? Chapter 9. Found Footage.
When I was growing up, there was a house in my town that people called evil. Our parents would warn us to never go there. But curiosity got the better of us. My sister Laura and I snuck into that house late one night, and we saw something. It was a young woman, but she was wrong, translucent, spectral. That night, my sister and I discovered the existence of spirits, lost souls from beyond the grave. However, many didn't believe our story. So we made it our life's goal to find definitive proof of the supernatural to show the world what we saw that night. I'm Erin Richardson.
And I'm Laura Richardson.
And together, we're the Ghoul Squad!
Ugh. Hey, Jess here. What you just listened to is the intro of maybe my least favorite podcast in the world, Ghoul Squad. It features Erin and Laura Richardson, two supernatural experts that go to supposedly haunted places and talk about seeing ghosts there. It's annoying and bullshit. They first came to my attention about a year ago when they attempted to interview me about a Coast Guard mission that picked up a mysterious frequency on their radios. Here's the clip from Ghoul Squad, episode 145, Davy Jones's Locker.
Hi there, Mrs. Youch. Are you with us?
I'm here, and it's Officer Yock, actually.
Mrs. Yoke, my sister and I are investigating a mysterious frequency that was made public by the Coast Guard a few days ago. Some people are saying that it may be the call of an aquatic monster.
People are saying?
The internet is.
Do you mean the so-called Pacific frequency?
Yes, it was recorded by a Coast Guard patrol off the coast of Hawaii. I'll play it for you.
That's not necessary.
That sounds unnatural to me.
It sure does, Laura. Your thoughts, Miss Yak?
It's a whale.
Excuse me?
That's a whale call. Recorded on a beaten-up underwater mic.
Oh, well, sources are saying that...
What sources? Did you contact the Coast Guard? We bought a bunch of mics that turned out to be busted, and we're making some recordings of whale calls so we can identify them and avoid them later. Whales sometimes show up as submarines on radar. We're listening to the sound they make to see what the blips are. If you contacted the Coast Guard, they'd have told you that.
Are you sure that...
It's a whale, dumbass. Also, I was told this call would be to discuss my job, not to get me to comment on baseless conspiracies. Do your research next time. And fuck off.
I may have been harsh there, but an abundance of conspiracies about my family has turned me off to that kind of journalism. I think it's harmful, and that these women are taking advantage of people's delusions. I only give these two any further publicity by discussing them here because of something that happened a month before I set out to the Wilson farmhouse. I received an email from a friend about how these two morons had apparently gone missing during one of their investigations. According to some internet rumors, the two vanished while making an episode about a farmhouse. My family's farmhouse. At first, I was appalled. Two conspiracy theorists trashing the site of a tragedy? I ignored it, and though I'm ashamed to say it, said good riddance. Their disappearance didn't bother me. Sitting listening to these recordings of my family, however, I started to feel a little more bothered. These two only investigate the supernatural. And from listening to that tape of my mother, I was starting to think the same thing. What if there was something here? What if that's why they went missing? I decided to take a break and do some research. I ended up finding what I was looking for at the galaxy's most wretched hive of scum and villainy, Reddit. Apparently, someone online had leaked the footage that was recorded for this episode. I figured that as much as I hate these two, maybe it would be helpful to listen to their footage. I wish I hadn't. To their credit, the Richardson sisters had stumbled into something strange. They just didn't know how dangerous it was.
Are we recording?
Yeah. Yeah, we're on.
Finally. A peaceful farm. A quiet town. A perfect family. These ingredients, though elements that someone would normally hope for in life, ended up being a recipe for destruction. On October 24th...
23rd?
Shit. 23rd, 1980, Andrew Wilson shattered the serene calm of this quaint little country home when he murdered his family in a brutal shotgun massacre. There were no survivors. Legend has it that the spirits of his murdered family haunt the house they were murdered in, the very house that I'm currently standing in. Tonight, my sister Laura and I are going to try and make contact with these spirits. And maybe, just maybe, find out why they were murdered. I'm Erin Richardson.
And I'm Laura Richardson. And
together
we're the Ghoul Squad.
Episode 167. In every dream home, a heartache.
Test. Okay, we're good. Recording number 1, spirit box call, Kit's room. We're good.
I'm standing in Catherine Wilson, the eldest Wilson daughter's room. I'm turning on a device called a spirit box, a radio that emits a special frequency that spirits can communicate over. We'll now try to make contact with Catherine. Cat, you there?
Nothing.
Fuck, we'll cut this later. Next.
Test. Recording number 2, spirit box call. Sitting room. Action.
I'm standing in the sitting room right now, the room where Andrew reportedly found the firearm he committed the massacre with. We're going to try and make contact again.
We're getting something.
What does it sound like?
Directions?
Fuck, you're probably just picking up a radio signal, dumbass.
Yeah, probably, sorry. Yeah, she doesn't treat me great, but she's my sister.
Who the fuck are you talking to?
What?
You're supposed to be doing a sound check. Who are you talking to?
No one, just myself.
Set up the test, please.
Okay, Recording 5, spirit box call, master bedroom.
We good?
Yeah.
I'm standing here in the master bedroom where the massacre began as Andrew Wilson stabbed his parents. There is a feeling here. It feels off. You can tell something awful happened in this room. We're going to make contact with the Wilsons. Wilson family, are you there? Is that something? Laura, are we getting something?
Yes.
What are we getting?
It's nothing.
You said you heard a sound.
Interference, I think.
God damn it. This whole thing is a fucking bust. Do we have any rooms left?
Yeah, we still have the basement.
Go set up down there.
I don't think that's the best idea, Aaron.
Go set up down there.
Okay.
They shouldn't have gone down there. After this recording, there's no more footage that I've been able to locate. In fact, no one has. For some reason, the recording they were supposedly going to make in the basement has never been found. And neither have the Richardsons. That footage was the last time anyone heard from Aaron or Laura. Authorities currently think that the two of them got lost in a nearby swamp while driving back from the house. Maybe that's true. Two morons who think they know better getting eaten by some gators in a swamp sounds like it makes sense. But you and I both know it's something worse than that. I heard on the radio. The one my mom picked up on her CB. The voice that my grandmother... I'm getting ahead of myself. You'll know everything soon, I promise. But first, we need to listen to the next recording. Chapter 10. Defenestration. If you thought listening to that footage of Aaron and Laura was unnerving, imagine listening to it in the house where it was recorded. I sat there, hearing them go from room to room in the house it was currently in, knowing that this was the last place they were ever heard from alive. For all I knew, they were somewhere in the house just waiting to be found. Ugh. Even now, I can feel the dread I felt listening to those recordings. The next tape was labeled, Judy, Town Hall, 1965. Context clues from previous tapes gave me a pretty good indication of what this would be. My grandmother Judy, the supposedly crazy one, used to work the phones at Town Hall, answering the calls of concerned townsfolk. My grandmother Judy, the supposedly crazy one, used to work the phones at Town Hall, answering the calls of concerned townfolk. Starting the tape, I expected to hear that same confused, flighty woman I heard on the wedding tape. But instead I heard a strong, confident woman who seemed to have the whole world figured out. It made me wonder, how could these two recordings be of the same woman? I would soon find out.
Hello, Town Hall. How can I assist you?
My goodness, Judy, is that you?
It is indeed. How are you, Mr. Miller?
Well, I'm just swell, Judy. It's good to hear your voice again. Back to work so soon?
It's been a full 9 months, Hal. And, Clark is at home with the kids trying to write, so, someone had to earn our keep.
Well, that is classic Judy for sure. How's the baby?
Oh, she's doing terrific. We named her Sarah after my aunt, and, she's happy and healthy.
Well, that's wonderful, Judy. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah. What can I do for you today?
Well, I was just calling to report to the mayor that I've been getting some strange calls lately.
Strange calls?
Yeah. Someone keeps calling my house and just breathing.
Oh, creepy.
Exactly. You mind passing that on to Ron?
Will do.
It's probably just some kids playing a prank, but I'd appreciate knowing.
Well, I'll make sure to tell him. Thanks, Hal.
Thank you, Judy. And give Clark and the kids my best.
Hello, Town Hall. Judy speaking. How can I help you?
Is this our county's most beautiful public servant?
Clark, what are you doing? Someone could be listening to our calls.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. I just wanted to call and, see how the first day back's been going.
Well, it's going swell, but I need to keep this line clear, okay? Oh, kids doing okay?
Oh, yeah, they're all hanging about. Yeah, kids watching the baby, Greg's outside, and Andrew's playing in the basement.
Oh, keep an eye on him down there.
It's perfectly safe.
Oh, I've just always felt uncomfortable with that room, ever since we moved in.
Okay, I'll watch him. You have a good first day back, okay?
I will. Have a good one, honey.
Mwah. Love you.
Hello, Town Hall.
Hello? I'd like to report a crime.
I'm sorry, what did you...
Someone is harassing me, keeps calling my house saying the strangest things.
Ma'am, I need you to calm down.
I am being calm!
Please, I want to help.
Fine. Sorry, there's just... Someone keeps calling and saying it's time. Time for what? I don't know, it feels wrong.
Well, this is my second time getting a call about something like this today, so I'll talk to the sheriff's office for you and make sure to have them swing by, okay?
Thank you. I'm sorry for being so flustered. The voice just spooked me.
What voice?
The voice on the phone that was speaking, it's a normal voice, a pleasant voice actually, but something is wrong about it.
Well, I'll let the sheriff know that too.
Thank you.
Hello, Sheriff's Office?
Hi, Harry. It's Judy from Town Hall.
Judy, back to work already?
Yeah, and look, I'm sorry to skip past the pleasantries, but I just had a couple of reports about strange phone calls coming in.
Oh, the breathing
Those are the ones, and some are actually of a voice talking.
We've gotten a few calls about that. They've been happening since the phone company added in their direct dial system. They say it's just wires being crossed. I'll holler at them to give you a call about
You
it.
do that? Harry, you are too kind.
Anytime. And you take it easy, Judy. It can be hard to adjust back to work so quickly.
Oh, Harry, I'll be fine. I've done it 3 times already.
That you have. Well, have a good one.
Hello, Southern Telecom. Operator Chambers speaking. I received a call saying you had a question for us.
Yeah, hi there. This is Judy Wilson from Town Hall. I've received a few reports of strange phone calls, and I was told I could speak to your company about it.
Yes, sorry about that. According to our sources, one of our lines got crossed during direct dial installation, and now our phones are ringing the wrong lines.
That sounds like quite the problem.
An honest mistake, really. We're working on it, though.
So no more weird calls after that?
That's the plan.
Well, that's a relief. Honestly, hearing about weird phone calls has got me a bit spooked.
Yeah?
We're getting a call from a stranger, not knowing who it is. That's spooky.
Are you scared of me?
Why would I be scared of you?
Well, I'm a stranger, aren't I?
Well, you've helped me out. That makes you a friend.
A friend. I like that. Nice to be friends with you, Judy.
Nice to be friends with you too, Ms. Chambers. And oh, if it's not too much to ask, do you know when the line will be fixed?
Well, I don't know offhand, but I can check for you. Give me a minute or two and I'll call back.
Thank you. Hello?
Judy, it's Chambers. I asked one of our maintenance guys when it's getting fixed, and he, of course, didn't know. So, he's running to check the help ticket. It'll just be a few minutes.
That's no problem at all. I'm happy to shoot the shit till then.
Sounds swell.
You got family, Miss Chambers?
No, no family. I do watch over my friend's kid from time to time, though.
Yeah?
He's a good kid. Plays with toys a lot. Has one of those little toy phones. We talk to each other for what feels like hours stickers on it.
Oh, sweet.
You got kids, Judy?
Oh, yeah, I got a whole herd. 2 daughters, 2 sons. One of those daughters is a new baby.
Lovely. Congratulations.
Thank you. Although, honestly, I've talked about them enough for one day. Sorry.
No need to apologize. It's fine by me.
How else do you want to kill the time?
Want to hear a funny story?
Sure.
It's about the strangest call I ever received while I was working here. A woman called the office and said she'd heard voices when she went to bed and wondered if they'd been coming through her phone. I asked her if she hung up her phone when she was using it that day, and she said she was sure she had. So I figured maybe a mistake had been made when the line had been installed, and maybe they had attached a second phone that had been left on the hook. I told her to work her way through the house, following the line until she found where the other phone was. She followed it through the house, and eventually found that the line led into the wall. And she swore she could hear voices behind her. So, she took a hammer and broke through the wall. And do you know what she found on the other side?
What?
A man. Living in her wall, holding a phone.
Oh my God.
She was dumbfounded. Terrified. He looked her right in the eyes. And do you know what he said?
What did he say?
Do you mind? I'm trying to use the phone.
Oh my God. Don't do that. You really had me going there.
Good story, huh?
I'll say.
Also, it looks like the fellow from maintenance is here. Give me a sec, I'll call back.
Sure thing. Hello?
Judy, it's Ron.
Hi, Mr. Mayor.
I know you're sorting stuff out with the phone company, but do you mind keeping the line as clear as possible? I'm expecting a phone call from the mayor of Shelbyville later.
Okay, can do.
Thanks, Judy. Glad to have you back.
Glad to be back.
Hi, Judy.
Hi, Miss Chambers.
At this point, you can call me by my first name.
What's your first name?
Amity.
Well, Amity, we get some good news.
Apparently, they lost today's maintenance ticket, so our accountant is filling out a new one. Shouldn't be too much longer.
Oh, is there any way you could get them to speed things up? I need to keep this line clear.
Oh. Don't have time to talk more?
I really need to keep it clear. Mayor needs it empty.
Oh. I was just starting to have fun talking.
Oh, I know, but
Come on, Judy. We're friends. Live a little. How about you tell me about your kids?
I'm sorry.
I'm sure you have some fun stories about the new baby. Or your son, Andrew.
Excuse me?
Your son, Andrew. Seems like a great kid.
How do you know my son's name?
You mentioned it before.
No, I did not. I'd never tell a stranger about my kids.
I thought I was a friend.
How the fuck do you know my son's name?
I already told you. We talk on his phone.
Who the fuck are you?
A friend. Your friend.
I am going to get you fired, creep.
That won't do anything. Judy, I want to be friends. It's been so long since I've gotten to talk to someone like this. You, Andrew, you're like family. Even the ones I don't talk to. Kit and Greg. Clark. I feel like I know you just from hearing all of you. I just want to be a friend to all of you.
Never contact me or my family again. Hello?
Why would you hang up on me like that, Judy?
Because you're a fucking creep. And I'm about to hang up again.
Judy, do not hang up on me. I swear if you do, I will kill your whole family, every last one of you. Just my friend, and that won't happen.
Goodbye. Stop fucking calling this number.
Left.
Excuse
Right.
me?
Left turn. Right
What?
turn. Right turn. Left turn. Left
What are you
turn,
saying?
Left turn. Right turn.
What are you
left turn,
saying?
Right turn. Right turn. Left turn.
Stop.
Left turn. Left turn. Right turn.
City Hall to the Wilson farmhouse.
I swear to God, if you call this number again, I will end you.
Hello?
Who is this?
Michelle Hanlon, operator for Southern Telecom. Is everything all right?
No. One of your operators is threatening me. She said she'd hurt my family. Now, I work for the mayor, and I swear to God, I want her fired.
Oh my god. Okay, tell me her name. I'll report this immediately.
Amity Chambers.
Excuse me?
The creep's name is Amity Chambers.
I'm sorry, I'm confused.
How are you confused?
We don't have an Amity Chambers working for us.
Oh my God. Then it was all bullshit. Can you tell me who called me last?
We're really not supposed to.
Please.
Okay, according to the record here, you recently received 4 direct calls from the Wilson farmhouse.
Oh my God.
Ma'am? Is everything okay?
And that's where it ends. From Kit's story, we know that Judy went home and took a sledgehammer to the walls of the basement trying to find this caller, the friend. But I'm more concerned at this moment with telling my own story. After hearing that tape, I realized I had made a horrifying discovery. This voice, this thing we'd heard bits and pieces of before, it wasn't just some crossed wire or mixed signal. It was something that was present, sentient, real. And its source was somewhere inside the house. Hearing that tape, I realized immediately I needed to get the fuck out. I grabbed the black box and ran to the front door. It was locked. Fucking locked. Terrified, I ran to the stairway, hopped on a cabinet underneath it, and hoisted myself to the second floor landing. I darted into the first open room. I looked around and realized I was in Mum and Kit's old room. Lining the shelves were photos of them, as well as toys and games, and one very mangy old stuffed bear. One of those talking ones with a voice box. Then I noticed the broken picture frame on the wall. In it was the same photo of my mother and Kit at her wedding. Despite all of my instincts yelling at me to get out, I stepped closer to examine it. The frame had been shattered and pieces were on the ground. One particularly long, jagged piece was covered in blood. It may sound crazy, but it made me realize something. Kit supposedly had been dragged out from under her bed and shot, but the only evidence we have of that was Andrew talking about it. This broken frame and bloody piece of glass indicate a struggle. Staring down at that bloody shard, I realized Kit didn't just die. She fought back, and hard. She hurled Andrew into a wall, broke the frame. She stabbed him with the glass, and then he got the best of her and shot her. She died, but she went out fighting. This explains how Murray took Andrew down too. An overweight producer wouldn't usually be able to fight off an armed murderer. But a murderer that's bleeding out is a different story. Looking at that shard, I realized, in some indirect way, Kit had my mother's back till her dying breath. If Andrew hadn't been injured, he might have found Mom. After that realization, I quickly remembered the horrifying situation I myself was in and headed to the window. As I did, I accidentally bumped into that old bear doll.
Hello. I love you.
Oh my god. It's just a toy. Jesus Christ.
Do you want to be my friend?
Sure, buddy. I'll be your friend.
I'm glad to hear it, Jess.
And that was the most terrifying moment of my entire life. The one where I realized this thing, Uncle Elroy, Andrew's friend, Mrs. Chambers, whatever you want to call it, this thing wasn't human. It was some sort of fucking monster, and it knew my name. At that moment, I had no idea what to do. It may seem dramatic now, but I hurled myself out the window and ran until the house was out of my view. The Longest Night, starring Elizabeth So as Jess Yock, Kit Demansky as Sarah Wilson, Adrian Pavone as Andrew Wilson, Lova Beckwith as Greg Wilson, Casey Belding as Kit Wilson, Brendan Rush as Clark Wilson, Olivia Thornton Nickerson as Judy Wilson, with Julia Pape as Daisy, and Ashley Zwick as the friend. Featuring Martin Konka as the narrator, Zaharine Tarafdar as Erin Richardson, and Jasmine Cabanella as Cordelia Summer. Additional voices by Archie Burton Smith, Sabrina Weinstein, Morgan Beck, Beatrice Friedman, Michael Elliott, Aminda Basmont, and the entire Longest Night cast. Directed by Archie Burton Smith. Assistant directed by Morgan Beck. Art direction by Abigail Estorero. Edited by Matt Lalonde and Morgan Wolfe. Produced by Sabrina Weinstein. Written by Archie Burton Smith. Special thanks to Dia Martinez Gracie for always being there, even when she's half the world away. Dead Ringer and O Death, written and recorded by Bassett. All other music written and recorded by Morgan Wolfe.